Hello, it's day 27 of 365 days of posting on Zoom. Zoom? Why did I say Zoom? I meant YouTube. I say Zoom because I just sent out a Zoom link to a bunch of people. That's pretty funny. So, I'm just talking about like anything really, and this is kind of a weird angle. The top of my head is chopped off, but that's okay. I say whatever is on my mind, right? And I guess the thing that's on my mind right now is I'm starting this class tomorrow. I'm running the class. It's called Building a Body Practice. And I wanted to share how I felt, how I've struggled, and just sort of relate my experience to the message of, how it's okay to struggle sometimes and to be open about that challenge or struggle that you're going through internally. And I just want to be kind of transparent. So I started this class it's probably been like 6 months in the making that I've really been putting all these videos together and designing the class. And it teaches women how to connect to their body and be more grounded so they can hear their body's messages. And basically there's so much involved in this class, I can't even explain it very easily sometimes. There's meditation involved, there's group meetings, we learn how to create workouts together. I teach how to create your own workouts because I was a fitness coach for a really long time and a competitive athlete as well. So in this class, we're learning how to be consistent with the body, how to be consistent in showing up to the body, but doing it from a nurturing place. And I don't think that our culture has taught us how to do things from a nurturing place very often. We don't really get an instruction on how to do that kind of stuff. And I think that women have cycles that are very different from men, obviously. And so we need a different way of looking at our bodies and being consistent. We need a way that I think is not rigid, right? So how do we get consistent? How do we develop discipline but still honor our feminine nature? That's essentially what the class is about. So I started teaching this class first to my one-on-one clients, and I ran those clients through the course just one-on-one, so it was not a group setting. And that was last year. Before that, I was, like I said, I told you I've done coaching for a long time. So all of the years before that were kind of the foundation for this course. Even though I wasn't thinking about running a class like this at all back in the day, all of my knowledge from that time in my life when I was a competitive athlete, when I did coach classes, when I did develop a group of women at the gym who were a very tight-knit community and just a very supportive place for women to explore their body and their own personal power. Back in those days, I see how I was developing all of the knowledge and experience that I would need to launch this class, but I wasn't intentional about it until about a year ago when I thought I'm going to bring this information to the world, and I felt very passionate about it. So I've released other things in the past, like Stronger Bigger, which was it was a 5-week butt building program. It's for people who wanted to have stronger glutes so they could have bigger lifts. It was for someone who was looking to gain weight on their main lifts like deadlift and back squat, and it would help with front squat as well. And then the byproduct was it would help a woman or a guy or anyone get bigger glutes, because I just wanted to share that, that had happened for me. I used to have no butt, and now I have a pretty nice little butt. And it all came from just building the muscle. So I've released something before that had a lot of back-end work, it's no pun intended, but I did have to work hard on the admin side. I had to market it, I had to create the product, I had to learn about websites, I had to learn how all this kind of stuff, like how to launch something into the world and then have people pay you and it gets sent to them digitally. It was a totally new experience. So it's not like I haven't done that before. And then I've done, you know, a lot of other things too around my coaching business, just, you know, but something about building a body practice was different. And I started really hustling on like deadlines, getting things together so that I could have this launch and open up class tomorrow, August 28th. And so the challenge for me was very different than anything I had experienced, because I feel that building a body practice was and is a course that I kind of poured my heart and soul into it. I included everything that I could think of that would help someone develop consistency. And because I poured myself into it like that, I kind of started to notice as the launch date was getting closer that I was getting insecure. So it's so interesting because the insecurity was about making my way in the world. Like, I'm gonna put something out there and I believe in it 100%, and I have confidence in my ability to teach the lessons in the book and teach the course material, and I have 100% confidence in my ability to nurture and guide a group of women who would be my students. But I think what I was starting to feel was insecurity about putting myself out there. Like, this is something I put out there that I care so much about, and I want the world to know about it. And is it going to be taken seriously? And are people going to pay for it? And am I asking too much, like, money? And it's not even that much. Like, for what you get, it's ridiculously cheap. It's like, I'm going to be raising it, you know, over time, but I'm not comfortable with that. Like, I have trouble, like, just knowing my worth. I've talked about that in other videos before, like when I was a personal trainer, and one of the members at the gym asked for a session to go over a technique for low bar back squat, and I felt uncomfortable charging him appropriately. I didn't even know what appropriate was, because I don't think I had started doing personal training at that time yet. I mean, eventually I did a lot of personal training, but he was still, he was like one of the first training clients. And also I used to sell packages of personal training, and this was a one-off. So I was just, anyways, my point is, I've shared this story before, that asking for money, charging enough, knowing my worth, and just hoping that people would take me seriously has, I think, been an issue for a long time. So in the course of getting this launch ready and about to present it and start selling it, like letting people know about it, getting, you know, making sure they know when the cart opens, you know, how many spots are available, all this marketing for myself, right? I don't have a marketing team, I don't have a marketing person, I don't have an assistant. Right now, it's just me. So I do work with a business coach, and I get a lot of help, lots and lots and lots of help from her. But when it comes to the actual work and the doing it and the creation of the content, that's all me. And I love creating. That's why I love working for myself, is because I get to be creative and do whatever the heck I want. But it's the business side of things that I'm, you know, getting coached on a lot. So I started to just get this sense of like dread. Like, what if no one signs up? What if I don't get anyone to purchase the program? What if, you know, like I don't get all the things that I need to get done in time? And it was mostly about just the insecurity of getting people in the course, to be honest. I had a few clients who had bought big packages with me in the past. And so part of those packages in the past where they would get access to my class and be enrolled in the class when it was ready. So I did have 3 people right off the bat who were signed up because they were promised those seats. But I wasn't thinking about that in terms of, will someone pay for building a body practice? Will they understand the importance of the message? Is it important enough to people? You know, it's important to me, but what about people? Because I see that the culture needs it and the world needs it. But will I be able to relay the significance of this message to people reading about the program? So as this insecurity started boiling up and kind of just like getting louder in the background, even though I was doing the work, I started to really like feel the effects, and I stopped eating as much. My workouts became like kind of scattered and not really focused. There were days where I just took a bath as my body practice, which is totally fine because I talk about that in building a body practice. Sometimes it's that sometimes we don't have to do a classic workout in order to be conscious of our body and show up to our body. So I was doing that a lot. Like I need baths, I need to just lay on the floor and do a crystal layout on myself. Like I was taking my advice that I teach, but it was because I was having so many days like that, because I was really pushing myself hard on the work front. And we talk all about this in BBP, where if you're constantly pushing out energy and using force and a masculine energy, which is totally fine. We need to use masculine and feminine energies. It's just about knowing when to use them and to be balanced within ourselves. So I was getting out of balance. I was really pushing, which is why I started doing a lot of gentle stuff for my body. But inside, I was feeling really stressed and tense. And it honestly, it was like almost like a spiral, like a downward spiral or a deterioration process of about 1 month. So for a month, I was slowly kind of unraveling and getting worse and losing my sense of confidence and my grip on what this is about, and that I'm supported. Like I don't need to push this hard because I have my spirit team who delivers. Like you have no idea. Like when you hand it over to a higher power, it's going to be done for you. So I was forgetting that. I really was. Like intellectually, I still knew it, but my body, my cells, my mind were not in line. So by the end, like, you know, this only cleared up a couple days ago, honestly. I wasn't sleeping well at all. Like getting 5 and 6 hours of sleep, not good for me. I'm the type of person who gets 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep and then I'm good. But 5 and 6, it's like migraine territory. So I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't eating a lot because I was stressed. My workouts were pretty, you know, not recharging me the way I am used to. And I was getting very emotional because I was stressed and tired, and feeling honestly kind of unstable. Like not like anything serious. Like in the past, I used to really have issues with getting unstable and then questioning my life, you know. But that's not the kind of instability that I experience anymore. It's just that I felt like I couldn't pull myself out of the intense worry I was putting on myself. And I made a video the other day about what I started to do to pull myself out, and that was really helpful. So you can watch that if you want. I forget what I called it, but it's from probably 2 or 3 days ago. And eventually, I think what snapped me out of it was I stayed up one night really late, and I cried a lot. And I realized I was crying because I needed to get it out. And then I just started talking out loud, like what it was I was feeling. And then I started asking for help. And I just said, like, I talked to my guide, and I just said, tell me what I need to know about how to get over this, how to reach a better place with this, because this isn't how I want to go into BBP, and this is not what I want to remember about my lead up to BBP, because I love my class. I love what it's about. But personally, I was being challenged. On a personal level, I was being challenged on how to step up, how to own my power, how to take the next level, really. I mean, I've been putting myself out there for a long time. So this somehow felt different, though. It felt like it was asking me to step up in a new way. And I was challenged. And I had distinctly I remembered the night that I was crying that I had asked the universe or my spirit team, whatever makes sense to you, to help me step up, to help me bring more light, to raise my light within, or help me realize the light within, so that I could affect more people and influence more people and be a guiding light to more people, because I felt that like the power within me was growing, like I was getting close to the place where I felt like I'm ready for a next thing, a level up, in energy and consciousness. And that was only like, I don't know, a month before all this started. So I made that connection. I mean, it wasn't me, I was shown that connection. And in that night when I was crying, I got the message to start writing, because what I write will be source speaking through me. So I started writing, and it's kind of private, but I got the message of what I need to be focusing on and what's happening here. It was very helpful. It was just one page. It wasn't a lot of, they never waste words. It's always very like to the point and just so I can understand and know more. But anyways, I think why I wanted to share that was, first of all, it's always been important for me to be transparent with my struggles. I don't want to present myself as a picture perfect person, because it's not real. It's not true. I don't care who it is. If you get the impression, or I don't want to say the impression is subjective, but if the person presents themselves as everything's going great all the time and there's no struggle and it's only wins, that to me is just not authentic. That's not a fair representation of how life really works. And I think when you put yourself out in any kind of in the public eye, or in front of a team of people, or you're leading a company or anything like that, any kind of leadership role, or where you're an example, I just think it's the responsible, correct thing to do, to be vulnerable and share what's true for you sometimes, not all the time. Because if you take a look at my Instagram, you can see over the years, I've curated more of what goes on my Instagram. I used to post only training videos because I was an athlete and a coach. That was my whole life. But I was truly struggling a lot in those days. So you'll read, if you go back far enough, you'll read that I was conflicted a lot. I had troubles. I had a lot of insecurities. I was up and down emotionally, and it started to change. The voice of those posts, which I'm known for having really long posts on Instagram, because I feel like I'm a writer. Like, first and foremost, it's how I express myself and share myself with the world, is through what I write. At least that's how it feels. So the voice started changing to more of an optimistic, empowered voice. And that wasn't fake. I started changing. I started doing some big, deep inner work. Like, my life started to change because I went to a really low place, which I wrote about. I was very open about it. And I asked for help. I was like kind of desperate. So I was asking. At the time, I didn't know who my guide was. I didn't have a connection to Source the way I do now. And I was just asking for help from whoever was out there. Like, I didn't know who I was talking to, really. I wasn't spiritual, really, and I wasn't religious at all. So I was just asking for help, and the help came. And when the help came, things started changing a lot within me for the better. And then my brother died, and that really motivated me to own my life, to accept my goodness, and to give back to the world. So the way the writing changed wasn't curated, wasn't forced, it wasn't manipulated at all. But the images I started choosing were different because, first of all, I wasn't a competitive athlete anymore. And when I was, all my videos were just training videos, and that's just what I posted. But when I stopped competing, I didn't have the same kind of content, but I still had the things I wanted to say and to share. I think my Instagram moved from a place of being about me to how can I give back to the people who are following me. So it was more of a self-serving platform, still wanting to inspire people, but I think more it was a self-serving platform. Then it turned into I want to give back to the world. I want to help people the way I've helped myself or the way I've been helped. I want to, I had always been more interested in coaching people in a deeper way, not just the physical body. So I was moving more towards that. But what I'm saying is the images I chose started to get more, like just more, they were more curated. They were chosen for a specific reason. I started having more organization with my posts. I wanted when people came onto the profile to see clearly that this column is like quotes, and this column is workout or body relationship, and this column is archetypal or personal. And that's, if you go to my Instagram now, like, it's 2022, and I don't know when you're watching this video, but as of right now, that's how I've designed my Instagram, because I want it to be easy for people to navigate and to feel the vibe. So there's this curated look, right? My point is, yes, I have a specific message that I am aware of, that I'm pushing out there. I tend to be coming from an empowered point of view. I tend to show people through my example what's possible. And I'm not saying I have it all figured out, because I definitely don't. But that's my point, is I still try to share with you what's real, what's hard, what I struggle with. When it matters, when it's big, I'm like, okay, I need to talk about this, because I don't want people to think that, that it's normal to have perfection or to be like, all the same way all the time. That's just, to me, that's just not realistic. And especially to the people who I'm speaking to, it's, we tend to have more ups and downs. We tend to feel things deeply. We tend to be more introspective. And so if I'm going to be an example to my people who are like me, and I'm like them, then I need to share the reality, right? So that's the point of this video, is I'm just sharing the reality. I went through some big challenges, was really asked to step up. And literally, we are living the hero's journey. I was thinking, I want to answer the call. I want to say yes, but I'm so scared, I'm so scared to actually do it, but I want to do it. And I think eventually, sometimes we get so in our heads and so overcome with stress or worries or emotions or doubt, whatever, insecurity, that I think there's a point where it gets exhausting, and that's when you surrender. And that's really what I did. I just felt like, just tell me what to do. Like, I know I'm going about this wrong. I'm not aligned right now. So help me out. Like, what do I need? What's the first thing? And honestly, the first thing that they told me was go drink water. So I got out of bed. It was like 12 at night, which is super late for me, especially because I had not been getting sleep the nights before, and I was like really hoping to go to bed early that night. I just couldn't. I had to work through stuff, so I went into the guest room and just dealt with my shit, you know, just let myself go, kind of ham. Like, ham is, you know, it's an acronym for, I don't know if I should even say it, but anyways, I was going deep into the feelings and just letting it be the way it needed to be. And then I was able to ask for help. And that point of surrender, I think, comes when you've really seen your shadow. You've gone to the depths with yourself. You are not afraid of what you find. You see it, and then you can say, okay, now what? Just now what? What can I do from here? Just tell me, I'll do it, or just do it for me, better yet. Because I really think that is surrendering. It's not, I used to have this perception, and obviously I still do, that when you ask your team for help, you have to also put in all the work. But sometimes when you ask your team for help, you just need to step out of the frickin' way and get the help. Like, let them just come and do it for you. That's truly surrender. It's, I'm completely useless now, help me, and that's it. It's not like, help me and I'll do it and I'll do the work. It's just like, do this for me, I need you. Yeah, so the power of surrender. What should I name this video? Power of surrender, being real. Don't believe someone's highlight reel on Instagram, or don't compare your life to someone's highlight reel. I always love that concept. But yeah, just being real with you all. And tomorrow the class starts, so wish us luck. I can't wait. I'm like so ready for the class. This is the easy and fun part now. Now that we're rolling, I'm like there's nothing for me to even worry about. I do have 2 more spots left in class, but tonight's the final night for registration. So we'll see if 2 more people come in, or 1 more person, or none. It's all good from here. I'll see you around. Bye.